Is the CEO of Binance going to prison? A little under 2 weeks after the SVB and Signature Bank blowups, here we go. We've got the next shoe to drop. That's right. Looks like CZ got served. Anyways, all right, let's dive into this because this is, look, not gonna lie, this is pretty bad for Binance. Shout out to Pirate Beach Bum for hooking us up with this awesome article that really just encapsulates everything. Okay, so this is like the TLDR because if you've been on Twitter in the last 24 hours, you've seen a whole bunch of court filing papers and all this stuff. It's like, it's nice to have a clean summary. So let's dive into it. Here are the 9 eye-popping allegations in the US government's lawsuit against Binance. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission filed a lawsuit Monday against crypto exchange Binance and its charismatic CEO, Changpeng Zhao, alleging they went to great lengths to do business with U.S. customers while not following U.S. regulations. The suit spells out a litany of alleged offenses that harken back to Wild West days of cryptocurrencies where no rules applied despite Binance claiming it was playing by the rules. The company says it's surprised by the CFTC as it had been working closely for years with the agency and had spent $80 million and hired 650 additional people to bolster its compliance efforts. Let's dive into the nine major allegations. Here's the first one. Where Changpeng Zhao goes, Binance goes. The suit said the company was purposely vague about where it was based, with its founder, who is often called simply CZ, often saying that wherever he happened to be in the world was the company's headquarters that day. Second, whatever you do, don't let anyone know you're American. Regulators allege Binance counseled its high-value U.S. customers to log into their accounts using VPNs to obscure their location. The company also didn't typically ask these clients to provide any identifying documents as required by U.S. law. Third, what regulations? The suit claims that Binance never registered with U.S. regulators and simply ignored U.S. laws despite the fact that its largest group of clients was in the U.S. 4, you might want to check your back. Binance, this is actually really crazy. Binance is accused of warning its VIP clients if they ever came under investigation by law enforcement. Account advisors were told to contact the clients immediately if their account had been frozen or unfrozen. If the account was unfrozen, they were instructed to not directly tell the user to run, just tell them their account has been unfrozen and it was investigated by XXX. If the user is a big trader or a smart one, he or she will get the hint. 5, regulators say that Binance quietly operated some 300 house accounts. That totally doesn't surprise me, but I still think it's amazing, right? 300 house accounts that made trades on its own exchange, which could affect prices without telling customers. It exempted the trading entities, including Merrick Peak, Sigma Chain, from its own anti-fraud and insider trading policies. 6, who needs records? The suit alleges that Binance executives frequently used disappearing chat programs like WeChat, Telegram, and Signal to communicate internally and with customers. 7, a maze of companies. This sounds a lot like FTX, right? I think FTX had I think there was 133. I think it was 133 companies that were all under this umbrella. Anyways. The suit charged that Binance used a maze of ownership structures to purposely obscure where each entity operated from, making jurisdiction challenging. 8, everything comes from the top. Well, that's just obvious. If you've ever worked in a giant corporation, they try to bullshit you into thinking that change is a grassroots thing that starts from the bottom. But no, everything comes down from the top. Anyways. Despite running a multi-billion-dollar business, regulators say CZ micromanaged even the smallest decisions. Once personally approving a $60 expense for office furniture in a month, the company brought in $700 million in revenue. Finally, there's a whale in the room. Regulators identified one Chicago-based firm as controlling some 12% of all of Binance's trading volume. and that CZ urged them to do business on the exchange using non-US IPs. Ugh, that kind of sounds like wash trading. Okay, so we can see that this is obviously not good, right? Okay, so a lot of people are wondering, what does this mean for Bitcoin? Because Binance is a massive exchange. I just want to say these allegations, he is not, Binance has not been proven guilty of any of these allegations, and in no way, shape, or form am I standing up for this giant shitcoin casino. I'm just saying that is the truth right now as it stands, or I should say that is the reality right now as it stands. But okay, going back to the original question, what does this really mean for Bitcoin? So Binance is obviously, one of the biggest exchanges. So naturally, right, if Binance were to shut down, right, if somehow if the CFTC were able to make it so that Binance were to shut down, what would happen? Well, number one, if you have your Bitcoin on that exchange, you better get it off. All right, that's the first thing. Secondly, I think we could definitely, unfortunately, expect a lot of volatility in the Bitcoin fiat exchange price, right? Like, I mean, look, we are all humans. Humans are emotional. People are going to get scared. I can tell you in 2017, when I heard that exchanges would go bust or exchanges would go under, I was afraid that this would kill the whole entire space. Like immediately I was like, oh, that's it. It's over. We're done. That's it. They're shutting that down. And I remember when I heard that, I remember when India banned, I don't know if it was crypto trading. I don't remember which time, because they had banned so many different things relating to crypto that, it just didn't make a difference anymore. But the first few times that happened, man, I was scared. Like I genuinely thought that like, all right, that's it. We got to pack it in, like they're shutting everything down. Look, it's going to be turbulent if Binance gets shut down, but make no mistake, this has nothing to do with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is its own entity. It really doesn't give a shit. It doesn't need Binance. It existed before Binance existed. So look, it's going to be a lot of short-term noise. The best thing you can do, of course, is make sure that you hold your own keys and that you have your own Bitcoin. Now, let's kind of go into the, because I've been thinking about this. For me, this is like a good tinfoil hat moment, right? So we saw the blow up of, obviously, started off with Luna, and then it moved on to to Terra, then it moved on to FTX, and we saw SVB Bank go under, we saw Signature Bank go under, we saw Celsius go under. Okay, so clearly the space, number one, that part of the space was too fragile, and that's what's great about Bitcoin is that if you hold your own keys and you hold your own Bitcoin, you don't give a shit. That this is all just noise. But it kind of looks like, to me anyways, it seems as though legacy finance allowed this experiment to play out, and they saw just how potentially rewarding it could be. And I believe that certain players in the legacy finance system, and I don't know who they are. I'm not going to pretend that I do, but it just seems to me as though they want the whole pie. They don't just want the piece of the pie. They don't want to finance a bunch of big players in shitcoins. They want to own the whole damn thing. So my personal belief is that they pulled back the veil in order to essentially take ownership of it. And I think that that's kind of evidenced by some of the news that we saw out of Fidelity, right? That they're getting more involved with Bitcoin. It's sad that they're not allowing people to transfer the Bitcoin out yet, but they will. They eventually will. I think they're going to get pressure to. But then we also saw the NASDAQ make an announcement as well. So I don't, I think that this whole thing is a mirage. I think it's a mirage for the biggest players in the world to come in and stake their claim. But again, tinfoil hat, right? That's my tinfoil hat take. I got no evidence. I'm just looking at the different pieces, and that's the conclusion I'm coming to. But all right, is CZ going to jail? Like, I don't think CZ is actually going to jail. I think that if anything, he's just going to pay a fine. He's going to pay a lot of fines. I mean, look, if you dive into the amount of personnel that they have hired and the personnel that they did hire, okay, in relation to compliance, the CFTC is, and again, I'm not defending a shitcoin casino, but the CFTC in this particular case is not entirely being forthcoming. Granted, I definitely think that Binance is doing and has done some shady stuff. But I think that the CFTC in this case is overreaching, because if you did sign up to that exchange, you know for a fact that you were KYC'd, you know that you had to provide identifying documents. And if you were a US citizen and you provided documents that proved you were a US citizen, if when the time came that Binance US was opened, your account on the regular Binance site was shut down. And you were instructed to, if you wanted to continue, move on over to Binance US. So there's in my eyes, there is something else going on. I don't think that CZ necessarily goes to jail, but I do think that Binance is going to pay a huge fine. Anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you guys tomorrow.